age is merely a number, it remains an important part of who we are. As hard as you try, you simply cannot hide the way that you age. Tenderness and youth are the hallmarks of every child. Some children, however, find themselves aging much faster than their peers. So here are 10 children who look much older than they really are. Number 10. Haley O'Kines. Haley O'Kines is fondly referred to as the girl who is much older than her mother. Though her parents were proud of her when she started walking at the tender age of 10 months old, little did they know what the future held for their princess. They found it unusual that their child did not seem to grow the same as the other children around her. At 1 year old, little Haley was still wearing clothes that would normally fit a 3-month-old. She was diagnosed with a rare condition called progeria. The condition left Haley looking more like a 104-year-old than a toddler. Haley's attitude to life is a lesson for all because she didn't allow her condition to take charge of her life, but rather took the opportunity to educate others about progeria. Haley has received much media coverage, including World's Oldest Teenager, Extraordinary People, and The Girl Who Is Older Than Her Mother. Old Before My Time was the autobiography she published when she was just 14 years old. Haley lived her life just like any other girl her age. She toured the world and traveled to various interesting locations. She swam with dolphins and even paid a visit to Prince Charles. She also met her hero Justin Bieber before she passed away at the age of 17. Number 9. Onolametse Falatse was born a very small child, but soon issues began to show up on her skin. She consistently had rashes all over her body, and at 3 months old, her mother had concluded something was definitely wrong and feared she may have a skin disease. Her hair began to thin and her nails became weak. She was diagnosed with progeria, a condition which rarely affects newborns by South African doctors. Her father abandoned her and her mother when her growth continued abnormally at age 3. Life carried on for her just like any other child, but this did not happen without ridicule from teachers and students over her petite size. Bullies labeled her as suffering from AIDS, but this did not deter her and she performed brilliantly while in school. She kept her hope alive, following her strong belief in always looking on the bright side of life while not paying attention to the negatives. Her dreams include becoming a professional psychologist in order to help others. She only wishes more people were like her by accepting the way that they are and carrying on with life, living it without regret, shame, or hindrances that may serve as a discouragement to anyone's aspiration. Number 8. Sam Burns. At birth, Sam Burns looked just like every other normal child. It was until the age of 2 when he was diagnosed with progeria. His diagnosis spurred his parents to establish the Progeria Research Foundation in the U.S. They intend using their foundation as a medium to improve awareness and encourage further research into the condition, including finding options for treatment. The foundation provides assistance and resources to families and sufferers of the condition globally. Before Sam Burns' death at just age 17, he dedicated his life to creating awareness about the condition and educating sufferers on how to live a normal life, which he himself did. He won several awards in middle school, went to prom, and was even a member of the school band. He dreamed of achieving many great things in life, including going to MIT to further his education. Life According to Sam was a documentary focused on his life. During his speech at the TED Talks at the Mid-Atlantic Conference, Sam Burns didn't want people to feel sorry for him in any way, but rather relate to him normally. He wanted people to see him as a happy person because he was living a happy life. Number 7. Sammy Basso. Born on the first day of December 1995 in a little town called Schio in Italy, Sammy Basso never showed any signs of progeria. After many clinical tests, he was diagnosed with progeria when he was just a little over 2 years old. Life carried on as usual for Sammy during his childhood, despite him living with progeria. Sammy was strong and focused. He was determined that it would have no negative impact on his studies. He graduated from high school and enrolled at the University of Padua to study physics. It was Sammy's dream to one day work in Geneva and specifically in CERN. Knowing that there was a lack of information about progeria, Sammy established the Sammy Basso Progeria Association with the aim of improving awareness of the condition as well as to raise funds for further research. Through his association, he found out that it was not only people walking the streets who knew very little about the condition, but doctors as well. Over the years, Sammy has called for increased education, sensitization, and funding of research into progeria. Sammy Basso has a particular interest in traveling, and he had toured various cities within the United States. His tour was documented in a book called Sammy's Trip. He was also featured in several episodes of National Geographic's, People TV channel. Number 6. Adalia Rose. Remember Adalia Rose? She shot to internet fame on social media, especially on Facebook, after a website and a Facebook account were set up for her. The accounts were to assist her family and to track her condition and progress. Her fame grew on various social networks and she became known as the girl suffering from an uncommon and fatal condition. After a video was posted online, she became even more popular. People around the world started to understand a condition that is incurable. Little Texas-born Adalia Rose began aging when she was about 2 years old. At only 5 years old, she was already resembling a 70-year-old woman. Though exposed to the public through social media, she lived her life without a care in the world. She never worried about how she looked. She likes vanilla ice cream, loves dancing Gangnam Style, and even has her own fan club. Her popularity can only be attributed to her attitude towards life. She is known for making people smile. Number 5. Ashley Heggie. Ashley Heggie lived to see her 17th birthday. She was diagnosed with the rare Hutchinson-Gilford progeria condition soon after her birth. After enrolling in school, Ashley received reactions of shock accompanied by strange looks. People just did not understand her condition. This inspired her to educate people about progeria, the condition that she suffers from. She created awareness on progeria by featuring it in documentaries and various media reports. Ashley's mother also hosted a webpage that tracked their progress. Among other things, Ashley began teaching people about progeria through a number of YouTube videos. She also advised sufferers about how to relate to people who have no knowledge about their condition. Her friends remain proud of her and still refer to her as a wonderful girl who is not deterred by any circumstance in her life, but who would rather have seen all that is positive about life right to the end. Her teacher's statement described Ashley as a 10-foot girl filled with attitude, when in fact she was only 4 feet tall. Number 4. Leon Botha. Leon Botha was born in the famous city of Cape Town, South Africa. He was diagnosed with the rare progeria disease at age 4. Leon loved music and art and would not allow his condition to prevent him from achieving his dreams and aspirations. Nobody would have ever thought that Leon would become a well-known DJ and a painter, but he did. He began drawing at around 3 years old and continued to follow his dream by studying art after he enrolled in high school. Leon famously appeared in Die Antwoord's music videos. Call him the hype man, and you wouldn't be wrong because that was basically what he was best known for. Additionally, his uncommon physical look gave an impression that stayed in people's minds for a long time. His art and love for music spoke volumes about his personality and skills. Leon died at the age of 26, making him one of the longest living people to have been diagnosed with progeria. In the words of Leon in a confession to a friend of his, he really didn't wish to be remembered for his music and condition alone, but also his art. He wanted people to see and relate to him in his art, to know his self-determination, complexes, creativity, and as a thoughtful thinker. Number 3. Bayezid Hossain. When Bayezid was born in a government facility in Bangladesh, his parents would probably not have known what progeria was. His parents were shocked to discover that their baby looked more like an old man than a child after birth. They described him as an alien with bones and flesh. The doctors were also confused and told his parents that they had never seen a baby like him before. They did not know what to make of baby Bayezid. The news of his birth filtered through the airwaves with neighbors lined up to get a glimpse of what the baby looked like at the family's home. His father tried all he could do to help his son receive proper treatment despite his low income as a laborer. He was taken to many places, including hospitals, shrines, and shamans, but nothing appeared to change. Eventually, the family had to accept their son's fate. He continued with his life just like every other normal child would. In his parents' words, he is extremely intelligent, playful, and freely converses with people. Neighbors have grown fond of him and having him around. They lovingly refer to him as the old man. Number 2. Kaylee Halko. If you've heard of Musical.ly, you should be familiar with Kaylee Halko. She is well known on the social media network as Calco, her username. Anytime she uploads her videos on the platform, her fans and millions all over the world watch her as she sings along to the song she so loves. And if you've been wondering where does she do these recordings, the answer is in the bathroom because the lighting there is better than anywhere else in the house. Kaylee grew up like all the other children in Ohio after being diagnosed with progeria at an early age. She has never wanted to be treated or seen differently to anyone else. She even insists on taking the bus to school. She participates in dance classes, hip-hop, jazz, lyrical, and has performed in musical theater. Though less than 4 feet in height, Kaylee is seen as fearless and confident girl in the family. Kaylee beams with confidence and her fans love it. Number 1. Lindsay Ratcliffe. Flat Rock, Michigan is the birthplace of Lindsay Ratcliffe. She was diagnosed with progeria when she was just about 4 months old. Her legs could not be medically straightened due to the lack of elasticity in her skin. Her parents reacted with great shock when they learned of her diagnosis, but learned to treat her the same as they would treat any other child. Lindsay found a friend in an ex-Marine, now powerlifter, named David Douglas, and has become more popular for it. While Lindsay is about 3.5 feet tall and weighing in at just 30 pounds, David Douglas weighs 330 pounds and 6 foot tall. The two friends met during a powerlifting fundraiser and have remained friends ever since. Douglas, nicknamed the Beast, often refers to his friend as the Beauty. According to him, Lindsay is always happy and smiling and gives cynical answers that make people around her just laugh. He describes her as a blessing as she lightens every room that she walks